Marshall Mathers IV, or for now anyway, the black-pilled Joker. Before you change your name again for the 10 millionth time, you pole-humping pervert. Here's the video as promised, Marshall. First off, I want to say that it's really ironic that you called me a pussy in your video about normies when I challenged you in one of my previous videos to come and debate me in the comment section of that video and you never showed up. It wasn't until just earlier today that you finally had the balls to come to the comment section of one of my videos and talk some shit, and you backed out pretty quick. You left after a few responses. That shows that you're a way bigger pussy than I am. I would have stayed and debated you. I wanted to keep talking to you, but you ran away, like the coward you truly are. So it's really ironic that you're attacking me on my channel name when you changed your channel name so many times that it's now a running gag on Pebrick's videos about you for him to recite every single name change you've made to your channel up until now. Really? You're attacking me over just changing my channel name one time in order to mock you over the dozens of times you changed your channel name? Get the fuck out of here. Also, Marshall, YouTube's algorithm is still only recognizing you as Marshall Mathers IV. You changing your name didn't change YouTube's algorithm. When you type in Marshall Mathers IV, you still come up. That's why I was saying before you should just go back to calling yourself Marshall Mathers IV, because we all still call you Marshall Mathers IV. That incel wiki in your community post that you're bragging about, which is honestly pathetic that you're even bragging about that, titled you as Marshall Mathers IV. No one takes this Joker thing seriously, so you should just go back to your original name as Marshall Mathers IV, because we're always still going to call you that too. And also, you already noticed that I changed my channel name to Blackpill Joker 420. Pebrick changed his channel name. Other YouTubers have changed their channel names. Even if you were able to manipulate the algorithm and come up under that name, we're going to follow you because we have the same channel name. So you're never going to get away from us. Just so you know, we'll always follow you, so you might as well just go back to calling yourself Marshall Mathers IV and be done with it. It's also really funny, Marshall, that you call all of us pussies when you were the one making community posts, begging your little incel buddies on your channel to go into Pebrick and Royal on Air's live streams in order to troll and harass them by spamming them insulting comments in the hopes that they would stop trolling you. And not only did that not work because only a few people showed up at a time, but also you never had the courage to show your own sorry ass in their chats yourself and stand up for yourself. You just tried to send your little minions to do it. What the fuck is with that? You call us pussies and you can't even join one of their chats yourself and stand up for yourself? You're a bigger pussy than all of us combined. You're the biggest pussy on this platform, Marshall. Don't try to deny it and don't try to deflect it to us. Because you're the biggest pussy. Just own up to it and try to be better. But I noticed that when you were attacking me in that normie video, you were using the same old regurgitated and recycled insults that you've used millions of times against Pebrick, Mortal Kombat, the Grease Wizard, you name it. If anyone crosses you, you just say the same thing, and you really think that's going to hurt? Nope. We've heard these insults from you countless times. They didn't hurt the first time, and they're not going to hurt the millionth time. Maybe you should get some new material when you're trying to fight people who you don't like online. Because what you say, it doesn't sting at all. If anything, it just tickles. It makes me laugh. It makes everyone else laugh. I also think it's really funny, Marshall, that you're attacking my subscriber counts when I could give a fuck about my subscriber counts. You think I'm doing this to get popular or to get money? No, I'm doing this to talk to you. I don't give a fuck how many subscribers I have. You, on the other hand, you care a lot because you bought subscribers. You care so much that you actually spent your hard-earned money on bots to subscribe to your channel. How pathetic. Also, Marshall, I got to call you out again for being so content with leeching off your parents and doing nothing with your life besides standing in the woods and bitching on YouTube. You have no desire to thrive in life and support yourself independently. Just bitch and moan on YouTube and e-beg and hope that someone gives you money. And you think that's your key to success for the future. It's fucking pathetic. No one is ever going to give you money so that you can be a paid NEET. Get that through your fucking head. Go out there and start working. See, another thing that's keeping you in this situation, Marshall, is that you live in an echo chamber of negativity with all your yes men. It's one big negative circle jerk over there. And if anyone has a different opinion, they instantly get blocked. So all you see is this negative reinforcement from all of your yes men to make you think that it's over, nothing's ever going to get better, nothing's ever going to change. So I'm just going to bitch and moan on YouTube all day, every single day, and hope that I get lucky enough that someone's going to give me tens of thousands of dollars and it's all going to pay off in the end. Someone will feel bad enough for me. No one's ever going to feel that bad for you, Marshall. No one. No one's ever going to feel that bad for you. No one's ever going to give you that kind of money. No one should give you any money because of how irresponsible you are with money and what you spend money on as soon as you get it. Get off your ass and get to work. See, and that's your biggest problem, Marshall, is that you see YouTube as your only career option. Your only option for the future is YouTube and getting money through YouTube. You even made that video bitching that YouTube doesn't give you enough money. Well, you don't deserve more money from YouTube. You got to understand that 98% of people out there don't make their entire living from YouTube. Most people just make YouTube videos for fun. I'm just making this for fun. Pebrick just makes his videos for fun. Mortal Kombat just makes their videos for fun. We don't do it to make money. We don't care. We know that YouTube's not going to become a career for us, and it's not going to become a career for you either, Marshall. You're not going to become the next Mr. Beast or PewDiePie. So just get that out of your head and get a regular job. And like, you criticize your own brother for wanting to follow what was always been your dream to be a famous actor and say, oh, he should become a plumber or an HVAC technician. Oh, I don't want him to become a famous actor. And you don't want him to become a famous actor because you don't want him to surpass you and always have to live in his shadow. You know that's true. And Marshall, you have plumbing experience. I remember I did a deep dive on your channel to find that video of you spending your grandma's money so wastefully. And I came across something where you said to someone that you have plumbing experience. You, when you were a teenager, did a little bit of plumbing work. So you have plumbing experience. So why the fuck don't you take your own advice and become a plumber? I mean, what's stopping you? You say that there's a need for people in that line of work. Why won't you get into that line of work? Because you can't become a famous actor, so you want nothing else either than to become a famous actor or a famous YouTuber. And if you can't have that, you're just going to sit on your ass all day in the woods, bitching and moaning on YouTube about what could have been for your life. Stop fucking doing that and maybe take a serious look into becoming a plumber. Marshall, like I said before, you don't have to make that the career for the rest of your life. You could just use that as a bouncing off point until you find out what else you want to do after being a plumber. It makes no sense for you to pick standing in the woods and bitching and moaning on YouTube over going out there and making money at 26. I mean, come on. Get your shit together. Get out there. Become a plumber's apprentice and get into plumbing. I don't think a lot of people know that you have plumbing experience. I'm sure a lot of your other trolls don't know that you have plumbing experience, but now they do, and I hope they start hounding you to get into plumbing also. Question for you, Marshall. You know, Pebrick brought up in his video he made in response to your normie video, what are you going to do when your parents are gone? I have the same question for you. What are you going to do when your parents are gone? You know, you have a lot of siblings. You're not going to inherit the house with that many siblings. Are you planning on leeching off of one of your siblings after your parents are dead? Do you really think that your siblings are going to take in a destitute bum like you who's unwilling to work or do anything other than bitch and moan on YouTube all day? I'm sure they're not going to stand for that, Marshall. And another thing, too, is if your brother ever did make it big in Hollywood and become a famous actor, I know for a fact that you would want to start leeching off of him. You would want a paycheck on a weekly basis from him just because of how much you've suffered in life, emotionally and mentally, without a $10,000 gaming computer and a hot 14 to 15-year-old girl to burp and fart in your face and watch her take a shit on a camping trip. I'm sorry, Marshall, that just always cracks me up. What the fuck were you thinking posting that video? That video destroyed any chance of you ever becoming an actor. And Marshall, you know that you would try to leech off your successful actor brother if that ever happened. You know it's true. That's why you need to do something for yourself so you stop being dependent on others, whether that be your parents or your siblings. And the way you are right now, I really hope that your brother does become successful at becoming a famous actor and that he goes on to date all of your celebrity crush women that you post all these creepy simp community posts about. All these women you have celebrity crushes on, I hope they all go to your brother. Like, I know that one recent one I know is Emma Myers from the Netflix show Wednesday. You made all these weird posts about her saying, oh, that look she gives me when she just lets loose a loud burp in my face. What the hell are you thinking posting that stuff? Could you imagine if your parents saw that? If any of your siblings saw that? Especially if Emma Myers herself saw that. They're going to see you as a creepy perv, and you are a creepy perv. Stop posting that kind of stuff. You didn't learn from your pedo videos that this stuff is always going to haunt you? You know, nothing's ever temporary on the internet. Everything's up there forever on the internet. It's always going to haunt you. So stop shooting yourself in the foot by posting all this weird stuff. So in regards to your military video, you're complaining that you would never join the military, and I'm going to tell you right now, just because you don't want me to say it, join the military, Marshall. You should join the military. Hell, if you don't think you're cut out for the military, why don't you go and join the Coast Guard then, or the National Guard? Do something easier for yourself. But you won't do that. Nope, you won't do that because you're too much of a pussy for the military. And you know that you would get eaten alive in the military. That's one of the real reasons why you won't join. And also, you complain that the military is too woke and that you would never want to join such a woke military. Well, one thing I know for sure is that you would gladly take this woke government's money. If this woke government controlled by Joe Biden was willing to send you welfare checks, you would gladly and willingly accept those welfare checks. So it's very hypocritical of you. You won't serve the country, but you'll take the country's money, even though you think it's too woke of a country. Very ironic and hypocritical of you, Marshall. You would gladly let this government pay you to be a NEET. But Marshall, I have a list here of available jobs in Greenville, Michigan. And it's such horse shit that you say there's no jobs in your area. Right here sitting in front of me, I have half a page of jobs that are now hiring, and I filtered the results to job postings that are 14 days or less old, and they're going to be in the description of this video. So anyone else who's watching this right now and hears this, go and hound Marshall to apply for these jobs. Marshall, you said that you'll get a job when you're good and ready to get a job. You're ready now. No more bitching and complaining on YouTube. You're ready now, and we're going to pressure you to be ready now. So let's mount a pressure campaign on Marshall to apply for one of these jobs and try and get one of these jobs. The jobs will be listed in the description of this video. Go out and tell Marshall over and over and over again to apply for these jobs. But one in particular right now I want to mention, Marshall, that I know you already have an in for is Popeyes. The Popeyes in your area is still hiring, and I remember you made community posts saying that your boss there was sending you emails saying they miss having you working there and asking if you would come back. Marshall, you know that they would take you back, but you won't go back. I think you should go back. Get more work experience, get some money, and you know that they would take you back and you can start working again by the end of the week, but you won't do that. So we're going to keep the pressure on you. If you won't take that job, you got to take one of these other jobs. And also, Marshall, when you do get another job, don't quit after just a couple months like you have in the past, because you're going to build an even weaker resume for yourself. You already have a weak resume right now with 3 jobs, all of which are so short-lived, and your work history not starting until your mid-20s. It's just going to get even worse if you get another job and you do the same thing and quit after a couple of months. You'll build an even weaker resume, and it'll make it even harder for you to get another job after that one, because no employer is going to want to hire you because they could see by your work history that you don't stick with any job you get. So the next job you get, stick with it for longer than 6 months. Try to stick with it for a year. Stick with it for a year, and it'll negate some of the damage you've done on your resume so far with all your previous jobs being so short-lived. And another thing I also want to remind you, the longer you wait to start working and holding down a job, the longer into your life that you're going to have to work before you can retire, because you're going to have no retirement savings until you hit like probably 75, maybe even closer to 80, because you're already in your mid-20s and you've barely even worked a day in your life. You're not going to be able to retire at 65. You're going to have to work a lot longer than everyone else, and you're going to be raging at the world and having a temper tantrum every single day that all these people are retiring at 65 and you still have to work till 75 or 80. You really want to go through that, Marshall? You really want to work well into your senior citizen years? I sure wouldn't. I would want to get to work so that I can enjoy those years of my life, not having to work a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. So get your ass to work, do it now so you won't have to do it that late in life. And also, stop with this second shift only bullshit. That's just an excuse for you to limit your job prospects even more. Just grow some balls and take a first shift job. Yes, you have to get up early for them, but you have so much of the day left by the time you get off work. You start working at 9, you're off at 5:30 after a half-hour lunch. You start working at 8, you're off at 4:30. You start working at 7, you're off at 3:30, and you have so much of the day left. You know, you were complaining at your second shift job at this factory you just had, you had no free time left by the time you got home, and that this job was taking away all your freedom. You know how you get some of that freedom back? You get some of that freedom back by working a first shift job, getting off earlier, and then you have more of the day left over after your work day ends. You just won't do that because, I have to sleep in every day. I have to sleep in every day because emotionally and mentally, I won't be able to handle the work day if I have to wake up early every single day, 5 days a week. Stop being a pathetic crybaby, Marshall. Wake up early, get your workday done early, and you'll have so much of the day left over that you can do your stupid little movie release date videos, your burp and fart videos, whatever the hell you want to do after work, so that you can get a full day's pay and make these stupid videos at the same time in one day. And I got something else to show you, Marshall. Look at this. That's all my DoorDash earnings from the week again. And I won't give you any of that. I wouldn't even give you one of these because, like I said before, you blow it on something stupid. You don't know how to budget. You don't know how to save money and prioritize your spending. So why the fuck should anyone give you money? Stop trying to be a paid need on YouTube and get your ass to work. You know, I almost have enough now to buy my next class for school, and I have enough to support myself with that money. Something you're unable to do because you won't go and work, even though you say you're now so depressed and so stressed because you don't have an income anymore because you quit your job, but yet you won't go out and get another one. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yes, getting a job and an income will help you find a girlfriend because no girl is going to want to date some broke and creepy loser who stands in the woods every single day bitching and moaning on YouTube about not having a gaming computer and not having a girl to burp and fart on him. And you also set the bar way too high when it comes to women, but yet you complain that they're the ones with too high standards when you want this pure and untouched virgin who will gladly and willingly burp and fart on you, but no oral or anal sex ever. That shit does not exist, Marshall. Get that through your head. You're never going to find a woman like that because it's not realistic. And if you want this pure and untouched virgin so bad, then I suggest you go and join the Jehovah's Witnesses because they value purity more than any other religion, I think. They don't even celebrate any holidays. You've made countless videos about each holiday and why you hate them. So why don't you go and join the Jehovah's Witnesses, since you never have to celebrate the holidays and you can find this pure and untouched virgin. And like you were saying in our argument in my comments earlier, the only way to improve your life is salvation through Jesus Christ. But then you come out and make a video like an hour later saying that you're not religious. So what the fuck are you even trying to say by making that comment? If you think that's the only way to improve your life, then go and join the Jehovah's Witnesses and try and attempt to find this pure and untouched virgin you've been pining after. But even they probably won't want you because you're too much of a weirdo. Another thing, Marshall, I noticed in your normie video is that you look like you've gained a little bit of weight. I could see a little bit of neck fat on you. Are you starting to pack on the pounds, Marshall? Are you starting to tip the scales the other way? You got to nip that in the bud. You don't want to struggle with your weight next. What are you going to do? Are you going to become overweight and then bitch and moan on YouTube about how overweight you are and how you're never going to lose weight? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to become like Nikocado Avocado or something? If that's really true and you're starting to put on weight, you got to stop that and try to lose weight. And, you know, I'm not calling you out on that. I'm not trying to fat shame you because I've struggled with my weight before. In one of my previous videos, the one where I called you a socialist, I weighed like 218, but I didn't want it to keep going on. So I changed my diet. And as of this video right now, I'm down to 205. So it is doable. If you're gaining weight, you need to change your diet and start trying to lose weight. Don't let yourself become overweight. Another thing, Marshall, in regards to your normie video, is that everyone's a normie in your eyes because you set the bar so high for other people. You've said time and time again on your channel that you would never want to be friends with anyone who ever grew up living in a big city, who ever had gaming consoles or gaming computers growing up, or had a girlfriend or a boyfriend and had sex, especially oral or anal sex, and that you would write them off and never want to talk to them ever again. You need to stop comparing yourselves to what other people had that you didn't have, and the personal choices people made in their own bedrooms. What does it matter to you? What difference does it make to you? How does that have any effect on you whatsoever? You're just using this as an excuse to wall yourself off and not have to confront your shyness and social anxiety that you claim to be struggling with. You gotta make your standards for people more realistic. Nobody's perfect and everybody's different, Marshall. You're never gonna find these exactly 100% like-minded people, and you're just going to keep yourself forever alone by continuing to have these standards for other people. You're saying that the only people you would ever want to interact with were other black-pilled incels, and you're never going to meet these people in real life, so you're just going to continually be living in an online world and never experience life in the real world off the internet, and that's just sad. It's sad and pathetic. Marshall, if you're such a deep and profound person, why don't you go out and try and meet new people? If you're so deep and profound, you think everyone will want to be around you and everyone will want to be your friend because you're so deep and profound. Well, you're not, and you know you're not. Crying and complaining on YouTube every single day is probably one of the least deep and least profound things you could ever possibly do. You're trying to say that, black-pilled incel men who sit on the computer all day long and browse incel forums and make videos like yours, they're the coolest people in the world. Nope, they're only the coolest people in the world in your eyes because that's exactly what you're doing, and you don't want to admit that the way you've been living your life isn't working for you. You don't want to admit that we're right and that making the changes that we're telling you that you should make would make your life better. You don't want to admit that you're wrong. And that's very cowardly of you, Marshall. Very cowardly. This is exactly why you should take a break from the internet, take a break from YouTube. You know, like I said before, I read your comments on your videos, and I saw you say that you're going to take a week's break from the internet here pretty soon, and I hope you do that. I think it would be good for you. I think you should take that time to sit and reflect on where your life is now and what direction you want to take your life in, And hopefully that'll encourage you to spend less and less time on the internet and more time in the real world and actually make something of your life. If you're going to continue to make videos, maybe you should try doing something more productive and useful out in those woods, like start a garden. Maybe like that'll give you a good hobby and people would like to see the change on your YouTube channel instead of the same doom and gloom pessimism that they see every single time they watch one of your videos. Why don't you make use of that wooded area on your property in a more constructive and positive way and do something like start a garden? Make use of that space you have for something positive, not negative. And Marshall, we're all giving you this advice because you can't run your own life. You say you can run your own life? No, you can't. Your whole time on YouTube is proof of that. We need to pretty much be your parents or guardians because you're not going to do anything with your life if we don't. You're going to be in your 40s still standing in those woods and still bitching on YouTube. And you know why? Because you're a failure. You are a failure. You're a failure in every sense of the word, like I've already said. So you better start listening to us unless you want to live a life of failure. And also, Marshall, why the fuck did you do a Southern accent when you were trying to impersonate a Hispanic? This right here proves how shitty of an actor you would be. You can't even get an accent right. That was hilarious, actually. You actually thought a Southern accent sounds Hispanic? It sounds nothing like a Hispanic accent. Marshall, that shows that you could never make it in acting, so you better just get a regular job. That was just sad. Sad but hilarious. So we've covered a lot in this video, Marshall. I hope you're still watching and you made it all the way to the end. And one last thing I want to say, Marshall, is the girls, oh yes, they do know what they're missing. They know what they're missing by not dating you black-pilled virgin incel men, because they know that you're whiny, pathetic crybabies who are entitled and needy. And you, in your particular case, you even said that you want a woman who's going to act all motherly towards you and be like a mother figure to you. That is such a turnoff to women. No women want to be a man's mother while they're in a relationship with him. They don't want to act like his mother. That's just such a turnoff. And yet that's supposed to rock their world. You think that them having to act all motherly towards their partner is going to rock their world? You're sadly mistaken, Marshall. You couldn't be more wrong. That's why you need people like us to talk some sense into you, even though you're not listening. That just about wraps up this video, Marshall. I want to say thanks again for saying I'm one of your worst enemies here on YouTube, and that I'm one of your worst trolls. It truly is an honor. And I'll keep making videos to live up to this title that you've bestowed on me. And for everyone else watching, remember, please go and pressure Marshall to apply to the jobs in the description of this video so that he gets off his ass, gets out of the woods, and gets to work. This is the Black Pill Joker 420, formerly known as Blazing Bad 420, and I'm out.